Hello, Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. I'm the Nightwing coming at you guys with a LCK Week 10. Week 10 power rankings and predictions. So it has been a roller coaster of a split for the LCK in every single region. It's been a roller coaster. As I want to say a few things before I actually start the video, I want to start it off by saying we were probably really wrong about a lot of our LCK power ranking predictions. And looking back on my NA predictions, those probably won't be pretty good either. But I'm going to give you guys some insight on what is to come for the channel. Definitely be looking forward to my LEC All-Pro team. I'll be doing 3 teams for the best LEC players, and then I'll choose my MVP out of that as well. Then I will be doing the predictions for Fnatic versus Vitality and Splice versus SK, which those matches are coming up this week. Like I said, EU takes a week off. North America used to take a week off, but that changed since Academy and Challenger got brought in. Well, Challenger got brought out, and then Academy came in with franchising as well. But I honestly prefer the extra week off. Gives teams a chance to scrim, give teams a chance to, pick up some new strategies. Cloud9 gets the bye, so I'm pretty happy with that. We finished the split 14-4. I'm so proud of my boys. Good job to you. And my G2 boys, we looking kind of iffy right now, but I believe they can bounce back and win the split as well. I predicted them even when I did my LEC power rankings to win the split. So I do believe Cloud9 can win the split. It's just going to be a little bit more tricky than I'm looking forward to. But for LCK, it's been a roller coaster of a split for them. We've obviously had teams that we've thought were going to be really, really good, and teams that have just faltered, just toward the back end of the split. We've had some teams that were supposed to be literally where KT Rolster is, and those positions have swapped. Where I have Genji at right now is where I had Kingzone, looking back at the beginning of the year, and that's absolutely incredible that Kingzone has played the way they did. They're pretty much still Deft is their best player, but I guess if nobody can stop their style, then I guess that's gonna get them wins. And you will be exposed at one point, and you'll have to change up something. But I think that if you looked at what the LCK is playing through in hindsight, you're looking at it from a different angle. So this is how I think the standings will pan out for the last week of the LCK. And as you guys know, you have your wild card round. You have that team who wins the wild card round face off against what is predictably Kingzone. Then whoever wins out of that match in Kingzone faces SKT, and whoever wins out of that is going to face Griffin. Griffin get the automatic bye to the final. They're going to watch everybody play in playoffs before that to pick up on what their team is playing, what that team is doing, how they jungle path, what their strategy's like, what their pick and ban is like, what they're going to ban on red side, what they're going to ban on blue side, what they're going to ward. All that stuff really does matter, and I think people really need to understand how much that actually impacts a team and how much they win. But at last, let's look at how some of the teams can come into this week. What you want to do for KT Rolster is that you want to come into the week and these games wanting to win. You need to win so you can be ahead of Afrika, so you don't go into the relegation match. And the fact of the matter is that when at one point KT Rolster, who won the split in summer 2018, went to Worlds, had an incredible best of 5 against IG. I even predicted IG to beat KT Rolster because I'm not a Korean dick rider like a lot of people are, but because I can see what a better team looks like from what I've been watching and out my league, my general league watching career. So I think that if you're going with KT Rolster facing Jenner, that was terrible. But KT hopefully should not be in the promotion relegation tournaments, and I feel bad for whoever has to go into the promotion relegation tournament and is like, man, I gotta face Smeb, BDD, and score? Oh, freak that. You can have your win, but it really would be sad to see them relegated. I've watched them for so long, Telecom Wars and all, but hey, if you're not playing good and you're not up to the standard of the league, then I guess you gotta get kicked out, but I don't feel like that's gonna happen. So All they have to do is win a series. They play Hanawa Life and they play Afrika, if I'm not too mistaken. But they do have 2 series coming up this week. Hopefully, they can pull out the win. I know they play Damwon and... No, my bad. They play Damwon and Hanwha Life. So, we're going to have to see what they can do. If they can at least pull out the victory against Hanwha Life, then they're okay. But if not... they're going to that promotion relegation tournaments, and a team that probably turned it on a little bit too late was Genji. I felt like what they showed in these last few weeks in their best of 3s, they've actually been improving, but it's too late. It's way too late. Their strongest points are coming out too late, and it's over. The playoffs are already locked in. It's really kind of sad that they showed this kind of strength too late to really sufficiently build up on that. But it's okay. You have next split. They've learned from this. They've kind of sort of bouncing back, and it's okay. At least you're not going to be in promotion relegation. Hopefully, And then you have Damwon, who got absolutely curb stomped by Kingzone. And then you have Sandbox, who got absolutely destroyed by SKT. Who would have predicted that? Only me. So, SKT, I'm liking their form right now. If you wanted to switch off SKT and Griffin, SKT has been performing absolutely incredible, and so is Griffin. People are like, well, Griffin's overrated. No, they're not overrated. Every great team has bad weeks. Literally, Cloud9 in TSM, when they were in North America and they were the most dominant teams, at certain points, they would have bad weeks. SKT, when they were really good in the league, have had bad weeks. Invictus Gaming, who won Worlds last year, had bad weeks. It just happens. A lot of good teams throughout even traditional sports have bad weeks. They're not overrated. Everybody has a bad week. That's just how sports work. And if you're not playing on form that day, then you're going to lose. So with that being said, that's how I feel about the standings right now. The biggest surprise this year, obviously, of the spring split has to be Kingzone. Nobody predicted them to be this far. I thought they're going to be outside of playoffs, given how what their roster has looked like. And hell, all the players have proved me wrong, and it looks like they're about to be in playoffs, and they are. Good job, Kingzone. They're like, we don't need Khan, we don't need Prey. We don't need Khan, Prey. We don't need none of our star players from last year. All we need right now is players who are rookies and underrated players, and 1 star player to get us into playoffs. That's all we need, and I like that. Having a bunch of star players doesn't always guarantee you success. It just doesn't. What if the star players don't like playing together? What if one person doesn't like what someone else is doing in lane? What if one of the star players doesn't like the way the other person is losing a lot? So you got to factor those things in too. And I think that looking at a lot of these teams people had prepared for moving into the split, they're going to start to look at that stuff later on in summer. Just because you have, what is the thing I've been saying? Just because you have star players doesn't mean it's going to work out. And I think a lot of people are going to start realizing that moving forward. But enough of that. Let's go over the games we have this week for week 10 of the LCK. Let me move over my screen for you guys, and then all right, so I got about a little bit of time before this page gets deleted. Just kidding. I got about a bit of time before the matches come up. All right, you have SKT versus Jennair, easy 2-0. I don't think Jennair is gonna put up any decent fight. If you told me that Jennair still had Teddy, no, it would still not be anything good. Remember, Jennair would randomly 2-0 SKT all randomly, just for a past few splits. They would really beat SKT. They beat them in summer last year and in spring. It was Jennair beating SKT, but no, correct. Oh yeah, I forgot something. Let's give a big round of applause to Jennair. You have been consistently 10th place. Keep up the great level of play, Jennair. You are absolutely incredible. We just have to round of applause. Get the JPEGs out. Jennair, you have been consistently 10th. Good for you. At least you're better than some of our North American teams. Someone said that Jennair would be good in North America. No, they wouldn't. They would get destroyed really bad. They would actually be in 10th place in North America, which is sad. Genji versus Damwon. That's an interesting match, actually. I think if Damwon want to show that they are a legit playoff team and that they are a scary team going into playoffs, Flame, Nuclear, stuff like that, I think that you look at their roster and it's actually pretty good. And they have good, strong suits, and I think Damwon can pull it out. But Genji's form has been increasing, so I'll say Damwon win 2-1. Hanwha Life versus KT Rolster. KT have to win this one of these series they're going to play in order to avoid relegation. Right now, it's looking kind of weirdly dire for them. So, oh man, Hanwha Life is just falling off a cliff. And KT, they're like a wild card team, and just didn't think I'd be saying that, actually. So, right now, KT, I think they'll beat Hanwha Life 2-1. And Griffin versus Kingzone, that's a really interesting match right here. This looks really interesting right here, and I think when you look at how Griffin has performed and how Griffin has bounced back and the way Kingzone is playing, we're going to get an incredible best of 3. Probably not to SKT Griffin standards or RNG IG standards, but I think we'll get an incredible best of 3 out of these teams, and I think Kingzone can beat them in a game. I'm going to say Griffin win 2-1. So let me recap these days really quick. Just so I can remember. 2-0 for SKT, 2-1 for Damwon, 2-1 for KT, 2-1 for Griffin. And if Griffin win 2-0, hey, I mean, they still won. I still predicted them to win, you know. All right, so that's, I forgot, and this is the last week. Yeah, I forgot, it's 10 weeks. Oh, man, it feels like just yesterday the split started. All right, the last 4 games. Let me see if I can get these right. So, Gen.G and Sandbox. So, I mean, Sandbox looked really, really, like, disconnected from life after their SKT series. Like, they didn't punish anything. They had some points where they were in the driver's seat to win, and they just didn't punish them. And like I said, Gen.G has been kind of on the upward swing. Like, some of the players have been performing decently better. Peanut, we don't really count him. Not even close. Not even who's the support on Gen.G? Life? Yeah, don't count those two. But Fly, Roach, QV, and Ruler, they've been performing pretty decently well. Ruler is still 1v9ing. I think it wouldn't be too out of the realm to predict that Sandbox could beat, Gen.G, because you'd be right. It would be more crazy if Gen.G could beat Sandbox. That's the crazy thing. And I think that you're not going to see it this time around, baby. Sandbox is going to win 2-1. And you have SKT versus Africa. Let's be honest here. SKT literally are like borderline, first place, second place, pretty much tied with Griffin. This is a first place team versus an 8th place team. They're going to get absolutely clapped. It's over for Africa. They're getting 2-0'd by my lovely boys in red. And Jin versus Griffin. Do you even have to give me the result for that? If Jin somehow magically have their computer start blowing them, then probably they can win, but that's not going to happen. So Griffin is going to win 2-0. And the last game of the LCK Spring Split 2019 is going to be KT Rolster versus Damwon. If KT can somehow just manage to win these last 2 series, or just one, they can avoid relegation. And I don't know if you can do that against Damwon. Damwon have been so inconsistent on the split, dropping their form. I'm going to say Damwon win this 2-1. I'll say Damwon win 2-1. So let me recap my last few days. Sandbox wins 2-1, SKT wins 2-0, Griffin beats Jin 2-0, and Damwon beat KT Rolster 2-1. So that's my final week for the LCK. Like I said, next split is going to be a totally huge different experience on the Inside for Nerds channel. There's going to be like highlight videos I'm working on. There's going to be like VODs I'm going to probably end up doing. A lot more consistent content. I know I really haven't dabbled into China as much, but I'm going to work on China as well. I'm going to work on trying to do in every single region. Prep predictions for LCK and LPL. I'll be pretty much doing these like this way, kind of just covering the whole week if they're going to play like that. And then obviously me and JTH cover the NA and EU days, separately as we do those videos together. So hope you guys really did enjoy this video. I really did enjoy doing this stuff and can't wait for playoffs. I really can't wait for playoffs. When does playoffs start in the LCK? Right after, so April 3rd. Yo, yeah, everybody's just ready. The spring split is almost over, and we're almost ready for MSI and a bunch of teams to just clash with each other. Everybody's gonna go all crazy and be like, oh my god, he won because he underperformed, and not because, I outplayed you. It's because you underperformed because, I didn't get a chance to outplay you. You just underperformed. Nah, freak that. Get out of here with that. You lost. But NA versus EU, LCK gonna want to bounce back at MSI and show that, hey, we're still a pretty good dominant region. If they send Griffin or SKT, they're probably gonna more or less win MSI, but they have to get past this stage first. So let me know what you think is gonna pan out for the LCK moving forward, and this is how I think the standings are going to pan out after the week is over. So, yeah, these are your 5 playoff teams, and this is the big shellacking of disappointments we've had in the LCK. So, see you guys later. The Nightwing signing out. Inside for Nerds. I'll be doing my LEC All Pro team tomorrow. JTH should be here with that as well, because we've been talking about doing that, and then we'll be predicting playoffs. Spring split's almost over. Who do you think is going to win out of the spring split? Griffin or SKT? Because I want a best of 5 of Griffin and SKT, because that last best of 3, holy moly, give me more of that.